Well, it's about time.
Hello everybody, welcome to day 2 of the 50GG thing I'm doing for my blog. As you know, I'm playing 5 games every day. I'll put the replays up, and one of them, if I have the time, I'll do a little replay evaluation. I'll look at the replay and then hopefully get lots of feedback from you guys. Got a ton of feedback after my post yesterday. Thanks a lot to all my friends that showed up on my blog and gave me feedback. Thanks also to a lot of Redditors that graced my blog with their visit and gave me a lot of good advice. Really enjoyed reading all that feedback. I'm gonna get this replay started. I'm in the top left and my opponent's in the bottom right, Terran versus Terran. Some of the feedback I got was don't worry too much about winning. I know that I said in my original blog post that I want to win more, and they say don't worry too much about winning, worry about playing better, and then winning will come. I think that's good feedback. I need to kind of get away from the fear of losing, because it's the fear of losing that makes me rage quit and not progress to after like a single loss. And they also said, in that same post, focus on macro. It's your macro that's going to get you out of bronze and up the level. So in this game, I really try to focus on macro and not worry too much about other things. Interesting comments about my scouting. The video yesterday showed me scouting quite early, which was simply too early to spot a fort gate, for example. So this SCV is going out quite early. I'm sending him his usual path around the map. But I've already decided, after the feedback, I've decided that even if I find the base quite early, I'll stick around and I'll try to get some more scouting feedback, so that I don't just see the first building going down, but I see, what happens later as well. And the third thing, the macro. Almost everybody said it. It's not micro or advanced tactics that are gonna get me to improve. It's using my buildings better and building the buildings sooner, etc. Or, well, not sooner necessarily, but at better timings. So I'm not too sure about the timings. I'd like feedback on my timings of building buildings in this replay. But I do know that I use the buildings a bit better. There's less time where they sit and do nothing. And only while I attacked, I'm gonna predict or spoil maybe that I'm gonna attack at some point. My macro slips and I let my resources go to like 600. Other than that, I think I do a pretty decent job at keeping it low. Using my most of my minerals, some of my gas as well. So yeah, now I have found his base. I scouted it a little bit, and then I remember, oh yeah, I was gonna scout later, and since he doesn't have a marine here yet, I decide to hide my SCV in the forest to give me some scouting information later on. And already I think, I'm sorry I forgot your name, whoever gave me the advice to scout a bit later. It's gonna become quite important in this match. I know, I agree with you guys that scouting in bronze isn't yet as important as it is in later levels, but it is going to help me in this one, trust me. I'm not really sure, I haven't checked what my opponent's doing. He's going double gas. I'm going to go more tech than what I'm aiming at. I'm aiming at, as you see, a lot of early bio. And here already he's moving out with these two. So now he's got the ramp secured. He thinks no SCVs can come in, but he does not know that I've got a hidden SCV over there. This one is gonna go, because I realized that with my SCV outside I don't have information on him expanding, because this is all black to me. So I sent this poor guy out to sit over here and to see if I can catch my opponent expanding, because when you're doing kind of a one base build, your opponent expanding is always good news, because that's your perfect timing for getting on their case. Let's look at units, see where I'm at as opposed to my opponent. Okay, we're quite equal on SCVs. I've just dropped my mule. My opponent doesn't have a orbital command jet. Okay, so he won't be dropping mules yet. I'm curious to see what income is, because he's... So if you can see that he's getting more gas, and that hurts him a little bit in the resource department. Interesting to see that. So yeah, here you can see my my awesome macro. See, both of these built. Okay, it's not that bad. I was making buildings on them there as well. So yeah, these were stood still only a couple of seconds. They didn't stand still too long. Don't you hate it? Yes, I also hate it, Tully, when you come through my recording of a replay. You're gonna be famous. There, he's gonna love that. My good mate Tully. We should play some practice matches soon. He's building up his army, and as predicted when we saw the double gas go up, his factory is up as well. This is going to be a starport, and he's attacking on another barracks. So seems to be some 1-1-1 play. We missed, because of Tully messaging me, that my SCV actually went in and scouted. And that was quite important, because I saw this factory before it had the tech lab. And that kind of made me think that if he still needs to do the research of the siege tech, then I've got another 2 minutes or so before he's going to have lots of tanks sieged up over here. So that is my cue to move out with my army. All my buildings are macroing here, as you can see, because that was my main focus this match. Trying to keep them double occupied whenever possible, so that even if I miss a bit of macro, they just keep on macroing. And as predicted, his siege tech is loading up now, queuing up a lot of tanks. If I would have waited with my attack till another 4 or 5 minutes, which I probably would have done because I was having so much fun macroing, I would have missed this opportunity. Here's the first tank. Siege tech is going to be up in 40 seconds. Maybe I waited a bit too long even. This would have already taken care of this, and siege tech isn't even up yet. So, okay, next time if you're going for a timing attack, don't wait for those guys that are still streaming across. But I'm still keeping my macro up. I'm still trying to, even when I'm running. But I get supply locked. Yep, I remember this. Quickly build a supply depot, but I should really take that as a cue to go in and attack. So then, here we go. Siege tech is ready, but it is only one tank and it's not sieged up yet, and it dies so quick. I see the other tank and I go for it. It dies as well. And then the rest of the army. Don't believe he has, no, he doesn't have stim yet, so a slightly larger army with stim, it'll just take it out. He had a couple of dudes standing here. And then yeah, after that it's GG for me. So yeah, what can we learn? What can I learn from this? Is that your feedback is already helping greatly. I really focused on my macro. I scouted just a tad later, which gave me the information about those tanks coming. I mean, that's not as good as for example scouting an expansion. That would have been even better, but it did help me scout for a window, and that I only barely made. If I would have waited another 20-30 seconds and he would have had 3 tanks sieged up here, my army would have been gone before it even could do anything. He wasn't keeping his macro up very well, so I think I again, with all due respect to Dega, he just doesn't have the macro that you guys forced me to have, so I probably had it from the start, but my window was nice in coming here. Once again, want to say, guys, all that feedback yesterday, it kind of overwhelmed me. Great feedback. I learned a lot. I learned a lot also from looking at my own replays. I've always looked at my own replays, but maybe always a bit angrily, like, why did I lose, or that was funny. But now I really looked at in a more analytical way. and that combined with your feedback and also the motivation I got from getting your feedback has really helped. So yeah, day 2, off to a good start. Can't wait to play my 5 games tomorrow. Thanks for watching again, guys. Talk to you later.